Hi, hey, how you guys doing, man? It's Joe D, and welcome to the Share Beer Big Game post game show. I thought we could talk about really quick the Eagles winning. I mean, what a dramatic win that was, man. You just didn't know who was gonna win that game because Brady once again has the ball, with less than 2 minutes left on the clock, and you just never know, right? You still never know. You're still like, there's Brady. He has a chance once again. Damn guy's gonna win this thing again. You know what I'm saying? But Philadelphia hung in there. Their defense hung in there. Chris Long made some great plays there, back to back, and they pulled it out. Okay, let me put a link in here. Let me let you guys get in this. I want everyone in on this discussion if we can. Let me see here. So here's a link. Here we go, guys. So there's Coach. I'm just having water, man. I just want this to be a quick show. I just want to get everybody's thoughts since the game literally just ended. I don't even know if they presented a trophy yet. I did not watch it. As soon as the game ended, I already knew, about 4 minutes left in the game. I was like, oh, we got to talk about this really quick. Have a quick show. I've got a list of commercials that I like, so I'd like to get everybody's input if we could about the game. And then let me see here real quick if I can post um, something about. Let me see here. Maybe I can post it in Google Plus as well. Let me see. There we go. So I'll post it in Google Plus as well. So anybody that wants to jump in live on video can. Again, I just want to make this a quick show, maybe just a quick little half hour. Talk about your thoughts about the game, about the Eagles winning, about the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles finally having a championship. Nick Foles playing his butt off. Uh, Everybody on the Eagles staff just hanging in there, making play after play after play, and the defense just hanging in there and doing what they had to do to pull off this victory. There was some questionable calls there, right? You had that one call. I don't know who the receiver was, but that one call, very similar to the Pittsburgh game, where the receiver catches the ball, makes boom steps into the end zone, drops the ball. Is it a catch? Do they call him do they call him a runner? And then as soon as he gets the ball, is are they going to call him a runner? And then as soon as he breaks the plane as a runner, it's a touchdown. Are they going to call him? No, he's still a receiver, but he didn't maintain control of the ball. He didn't. What do they call it? They like
I hate to say that as a
Mm-mm.
coach, but man, I'm glad for the Eagles. Fly high, right?
Yeah, man, I'm glad for the Eagles as well. We got Adam in the chat. He says, "Hell yeah, what a game! Let's go, fly Eagles, fly."
Right.
No, I'm happy for Eagle fan. I definitely, as you guys know, thought the Patriots would pull it out. I think everybody did, right? When you've got Brady less than 2 minutes left and he's got the ball, you're just like, seriously? You know what I'm saying? Hey, when he had the ball and it was what, 2:30 left in the game, 2:40 left in the game, you're like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. They still had a timeout left. They had the 2-minute warning left. You're like, dude, this game's over, right?
right.
Brady's gonna do something here. And then you've got, I forget the player's name from the Eagles defense that comes in there, hits the ball out of Brady's hands. It goes back into the Eagles, and you're like, wow, right? They've got a chance, you know?
It's
Uh,
funny because we had the same thought process throughout the game, and I'm sure most of America did too. We all had the same thought process. Well, here we go again. Here goes Tom Brady, and it didn't happen. That slot machine didn't pay out, and I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah.
So
There's going to be a lot of people happy because going into the game, it wasn't like last year. A lot of people were really hating on the Patriots. Going into this year, and we talked about it in the pre-show, I felt that, at least I felt really strongly that, and Chris Collinsworth said the same thing. Seen this movie too many times, man. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
like, okay, you'd kind of like the Eagles to win, but I've seen this too many times already, man. We've been here, done that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, how's Brady and Belichick going to win this one? Let's just get it over with already, you know? And they kept playing the
Right.
game, and the Eagles kept making plays, and the defense kept making plays, but the Patriots kept hanging in there, and you're like, oh, and they go into halftime. The Patriots are still right there. They come out of halftime. Eagles make some plays. Patriots make some plays. You're like, you're not putting them away, dude. You know what I'm saying? You know,
And you
it's
thought
just
that
like, you know, give me
Patriot
something,
magic
coach.
was going to happen again. No, you thought that Patriot magic was going to happen again. You're just kind of cringing, like, well, and they didn't do it, and you're just like, thank you, So
But it comes down all the way to the last play of the game. I mean, it
right.
still came down to that.
I was at the company party tonight, Jody, at a bowling alley, and we had about 80 employees there, and then the other side was just other people that were there to bowl. And if you could hear the sigh and the cheers, you would just think you're almost there. I mean, obviously we're not, but it was just so funny to listen to.
Yeah.
Oohs and ahs,
Yeah.
And
as much as I don't necessarily love to go to a big Super Bowl party, there's still nothing like being at a big Super Bowl party, right?
Right.
I mean, it's more or less the like, oh, I really don't want to go, but once you're there, you make the most of it, sort of thing, right? And just like you said, though, you have that experience of all these different people, and the kind of the bigger the crowd, almost the better, because you had that experience of all these people in a bowling alley. Those are big venues, right? I mean, big indoor places, and you're like, you can hear from a distance people probably rooting for the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
And for different reasons. When it comes to the Super Bowl, you've got non-Patriots fans, but you've got Super Bowl pools, and they're rooting per quarter because, hey, guess what? I'm getting money, right? When you're getting money, it's a different ball game, right? So you've got different people rooting for different teams for different reasons, right? We got Tom in the chat. I would love to know what he thinks. There's the link right there, Tom. Plus, there's a link in the Google Plus. Would love to hear what you think. He says the link seems not to work. Condolences, Tom. That's what Bum says.
Oh man.
On the link, not the on the game, not the bad link. Yeah. Well, somehow a coach got in here. How did you get in, Coach?
I went to your Google Plus page.
Okay, so the Google Plus worked for Coach. So hopefully it'll work for everybody else. I did post that link up there, so it's up there, and we're live now. Any more thoughts on how the game went? What did you think about? Let's talk about the halftime show really quick. Justin Timberlake halftime show. What did you think?
I don't know. I mean, I liked it. Everyone was talking about Janet Jackson. They don't want the repeat from years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I liked it. I mean, people disagree, but I didn't mind it. The halftime shows are always entertaining to me. So the one thing I will point out, Jody, is my oldest son's in the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps had a commercial the first time in like 30 years that they've had a commercial during the Super Bowl. So, I'm like Semper Fi, do or die. Yeah, So
Sure, man. Sure. Yeah. Hey, well, thank your son for serving, man. It is. I don't know how your son feels about the service. You don't have to get into that. I really don't expect a reaction to that. I
Right.
know how I felt when I was serving. I was young. I didn't really like it, couldn't stand it, but I appreciated the opportunity, even at that young of age. I appreciated the opportunity to serve and to go places and do things I knew, even at that time, for the rest of my life, I'm never going to do again. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I did
Right.
appreciate that part. I absolutely could not wait to get out of the service, but I did appreciate the opportunities that hey, this stint in the service is going to provide me for the rest of my life. I was very aware of those opportunities, even at 19, 20 years old. I was very aware of those opportunities. So thank your son for his service. And you know what, man? Hey, I got in this house. This house is thanks to the Veterans
Right.
Association. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
thank you for your service, Joe D. And I'm anxious to hear from Tom.
Yes. Tom, what do you think? You've got the floor right now, my friend. I've got your box checked. I want to hear what you
Man,
think about the game, man.
I thought it was a good game overall, but I feel like both teams played very well. Um, and it just seemed like that one play, that one fumble, or that one defensive play by the Eagles
Right.
when they rushed Tom Brady, they took that ball out of his hand.
Yeah.
That was it. Everyone played. It almost seemed like it was tit for tat the whole game,
Yep.
the whole entire game.
The
Until
only sack of Tom Brady in the game resulted in a fumble. Eagles get the ball,
Yeah.
and that. But the Patriots held out, man. I mean, they held out, and you're like, oh boy.
Yeah, it was
See,
the last
just
minute.
like Collinsworth said, and I was thinking about Bum the whole time because I was remembering the conversation we had where a lot of people don't like Collinsworth, and I was really looking for something to not like him on, and I was like, God, the guy's so flipping good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought he called a great game. I did see a few points where I'm like, okay, maybe there's a little bit in there where someone couldn't like him. But man, I thought he was saying stuff that you're feeling. You're like, I've seen this movie too many times to call it against the Patriot. Right when he said it, you're like, that's exactly how I feel. So what did you think, Tom, when because I think that play you're talking about when Brady comes in the game, I think there's 240 or 230 left in the game.
Yeah, I found it interesting. They wasted their timeouts a lot earlier than they usually do.
Yeah, that first time out in the second half
quarter, they threw a timeout. I was very surprised by that.
Yeah.
And then, by the time when they got the ball back, no timeouts. And so it was just it was crazy.
I'm almost convinced if they'd have had that extra timeout at the end of that, they'd have won that game. That's all they.
Yeah.
They still almost came close, even with all that. They came closer than any other team would have in that same situation.
If it was just a field goal, I think they would have gotten it. But it was they couldn't score. It was just too much.
You just could not, no matter what.
Yeah.
You could not turn away from that game. Even when Brady did get that, when the fumble did happen and the Eagles got the ball back, you're still like, you're listening to Collinsworth, and he's saying it. All right, but it's already, before you knew it, it was already third down for the Eagles, and you're like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying?
It was 14 seconds off to go, and you look at the head coach for the Eagles. He looks like his head wants to pop.
Right.
You know what? There was you had Gronkowski make that play, and I think there was 9 seconds left, something like that. Yeah. One more play to go, and even the head coach, even the coaching staff for the Eagles was like, "Man, I've seen this movie before."
They're like,
right?
Calm down, don't get to. We have not won yet.
Yeah, it was like. You could just see it in everybody. Everybody was like, "Man, I don't even want to look at the end of this movie." Right? I can't even look. And
they hurt him though, losing Brandon Cooks.
You're right, Tom.
And who was the player that the Patriots decided not to play? I was thinking about that the whole game. That defensive player,
Malcolm Butler,
Butler, yeah,
that got the against the Seahawks. They got the interception at the end.
Yeah,
I don't know why they played him on special teams. I was confused by that.
Yeah, it was like what was going on there?
Hell, man, I was confused by that. Also, that was brand news. That was brand new news.
He's got to have something going on with him because otherwise they would play him. There's no reason not to.
Yeah. In the way they showed him close up, man, crying during the national anthem at the before the game even starts, he knew he wasn't playing.
Yeah,
right. It's awesome to see Bum. Bum, you're the best.
Good to see you, Coach.
I kind of feel bad for Tom because I'm not even an Eagles fan, and I talk so much verbal diarrhea that I feel bad because I wish Tom's team would have won.
Yeah.
I'm not even an Eagles fan. I just don't like Tom Brady. So, Tom, I guess I apologize, and I owe you a beer. So,
okay.
I know it doesn't fix it, but I just feel bad, man. Anyway, take it away, Jody. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, I actually felt really bad. I forget the player's name, but I felt bad for Pittsburgh fan, for people like Bum, because you had virtually the exact same play happen in the end zone.
Mm.
And had that play gone Steelers' way, it might have been the Steelers in the.
But relating to that play, though, if nothing else, one thing that you can put to bed forever now, and I'm no fan of the Patriots, but I'm also not a big conspiracy theorist either. All the people that are always saying the referees are biased for the biased for the Patriots. The calls always go in favor of the Patriots. Well, you can pretty much put that to rest after tonight's game.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. To the referees' credit, to the NFL's credit, they let them play this game. There was a few times when
there was a holding penalty and what else? A couple holding penalties. How many penalties were there actually in the game?
Man, I would bet less than 10. I mean, there was hardly any whistles in this game at all.
Yeah. There were more reviews than penalties.
Right? Yeah, the reviews. Yep.
That one play that Zach Ertz, when they were reviewing it, when he hit the ground, the ball bounced. Then he caught the ball again. If they called some crazy stuff on that, people would have went crazy.
Ertz is the key for the Eagles in this game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Ertz was their Gronk for this game. He was key, I think, to the Eagles winning this football game.
Who won the MVP?
I'm sorry?
Who won the MVP of the game?
Oh, like I said, I don't know. Because literally, as soon as the Eagles won, as soon as time ran out, Tom Brady threw that bomb and the ball was dropped and time was out, I started the show. I was like, I want to talk about it. So yeah, I don't know who won the MVP. Maybe someone can put it in the chat.
That was a weird.
Maybe you guys can Google it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to put it in the chat.
I won my fantasy league this year, and it was partially because of Ertz, the tight end.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And I got paid. This is only $250, but still, I won money because of them. So.
Yep.
And Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Nick Foles got MVP.
Oh, did he? Well, he deserved it, man. Nick Foles played his ass off, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what do they do with the quarterback at the start of the season? Now,
hey, it's time to ship it out. And
I mean, hey, Tom Brady came in, was the backup, and won the Super Bowl. And look at the legend that we have now. You got Foles. I ain't saying Foles is a Tom Brady, but hey, man, you got a backup that comes in and wins you the Super Bowl. I mean.
You can tell the guy, all right, putting you back on the bench.
Yeah.
Starting you. What does that do to his demeanor? You want him to stay up and good and ready to go. And
Wentz, right? Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah.
What does he do? Where does he go? What happens now, right?
Not to get off track, Jody, but why would the Kansas City Chiefs trade away Alex Smith? That is the craziest thing I've seen. Why would they do that? I don't
Well,
understand.
because of the quarterback that they have right now. That
right,
kid,
but hear me out. Alex Smith is proven in the NFL. This kid is not proven.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean, that's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's, you know.
Maybe he doesn't fit in the offense.
Yeah, it's
right.
I mean, they would have run the West Coast offense, right? With that coach, he used to be at Philly. I forget his name.
Andy Reid. Andy Reid's got his reasons, man. I mean, you know, he's a proven coach as well. So, you know, the time will tell that story. I would love to hear what everybody, you know, we've talked about the game a little bit. Like I said, I just want this to be a little quick thing. I know on the East Coast it's what, 8, 9, 10, almost 11. So what does everyone think of the halftime show with Justin Timberlake? What are your thoughts? And then we'll get into some commercials.
I slept through most of it. I actually, during the first half of the game, I was in and out of consciousness. I was watching, but I was zonking out, and I pretty much slept through the halftime show. If you go back and watch the Share Beer pregame show, you will see me drink 2 Edmund Fitzgeralds and eat an entire DiGiorno pizza on camera. So,
so that's what did it, huh? That made the sleepiness happen.
I during the halftime show, I just heard a bunch of electronic mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
And I got awake enough to look. I was like, yeah, this is total lip sync job, and back to sleep.
I'll tell you my thoughts. At first, I don't know. At first, it seemed like, okay, this is all right. You know what I'm saying? And then after what felt like 5 minutes or so, I was like, meh, you know, okay, you know. And then what felt like another 10 minutes went by, and I'm like, God, when's this thing going to be over? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like one of those movies that just kind of would not stop. You're like, you know, had this movie stopped 10 minutes ago, I would have really liked it. But now I'm like watching my clock. Like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying?
Nobody just sings anymore or plays. It's just like this entertainment spectacular where they have to assault you from all angles with the visuals and the dancing. Nobody just performs anymore or sings. And now they don't even sing, they lip sync.
Earth says the Prince segment was cool. The rest was whatever. Even the Prince part was just so drummed up. I was like, really? Justin Timberlake's going to get on the piano and everything's going to go purple and we're going to have this Prince segment. You know what I'm saying? Everyone all of a sudden is in love with Prince. Are you serious? I don't know. I just don't buy into it. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy into it. The guy dies and now everyone's into Prince. Really? I haven't heard Prince anybody loving Prince. As a matter of fact, I can remember having conversations just a couple years ago about Erotic City and different things that Prince did, and everyone, Prince, really? What? And now everyone's in love with the guy because he died of an overdose? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just kind of, I don't buy into the whole thing. You know, I liked Prince. I thought Prince was a genius. I loved a lot of his music. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Just because the guy dies and everyone's all in love with him and everything, you know, because we're in Minneapolis, all of a sudden we have to have this whole, I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was just so like social media drummed up fake. Like it just felt like, man, you know, make this thing a couple of Timberlake songs, 10 minutes tops, and let's get out of this, would you? You know what I'm saying? It felt too long.
I was surprised there wasn't a guest appearance. Like at least somebody else come in with it.
Right? Yeah, that's an idea as well.
Well, did the Prince hologram show up? I had read that was. Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, that's the part where he was on the piano and they had the big white screen up there and they had Prince on the screen.
I was sound asleep.
And Justin Timberlake was singing. Was it 1 or 2 Prince songs? He was.
Oh, I don't even know. I was
doing a remake of those Prince songs. Don't get me wrong, man. I loved Prince. I really did. It's just that all of a sudden the guy dies and people that didn't even pay 5 minutes of attention to the guy, you know what I'm saying, are all of a sudden in love with him. And
that happens all the time. All the time when somebody dies, and it's just sickening, the hypocrisy of it all.
Right, but you ever see an autograph of the person that passes away, their autograph goes up tenfold overnight because they
Right.
passed away.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought it was really. Now, Earth says honestly, this halftime was probably the most anticlimactic of any I can remember. It was. Meh.
It
I mean,
wasn't-
that's the best I can give it. The best out of 10, out of a 10 rating, the best I could give it is a 5. It was just, meh.
Mhm.
It was too long. It was too long for me. It went too long.
Mm.
You know, it should have been, honestly, it should have been probably, I don't know how exactly long from beginning to end, but I would think that maybe, let's say it was 18 minutes. I don't know if that's a good guess or not, but if it was 18 minutes, it could have been 9 minutes shorter.
They just sang way
No,
too many songs. It was like this song, then that song, and this song, that song. It was like,
Yeah.
stick to a song and just do you do.
Yeah. It was
No,
kind
Joe
of,
D's right. It was too long. You know, that's what my prom date told me back in '98. So it's just too long.
nice. I love the way he got that one in there. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah. Hey, so now I've got a list of commercials here. Let's get on to the commercial. We talked about the game, halftime show. What about the commercials? I've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 commercials. Exactly. Wow, I didn't even plan that out. I've got 10 commercials. It's not my top 10 list, but 10 that I thought were interesting at least. You know what I'm saying? What would you say is either your top 5 or just the commercials that you found interesting that come to memory?
I'll disqualify myself from this because I told you I'm not a. I never pay attention. All I can say is that during the times I did pay attention, which was very rare, noticed a lot of diversity commercials.
Yep.
And I also noticed kind of a change in a swing in things from a few years ago when every commercial was a humorous commercial. There didn't seem to be that many humorous commercials that year. Everything is now serious and feel good, and
Yeah.
we're all one. Let's live as one. And every
Yeah.
one of these commercials seem to have a message to it now, instead of just
Right.
buy our product. And
It wasn't as bad as last year. Last year was horrible. I thought the commercials were just horrible, not memorable at all. There was definitely a little more humor this year. The
Was there?
second half commercials weren't as humorous, weren't as funny. Had a little bit more of a message, like you said. We're doing this, or some sort of feel good message. But the first half definitely had more humor, more of that came back.
I must have been sleeping through those ones.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll get to everybody. So, Bum had his take on the commercials. What do you have, Coach? Do you have anything that you remember?
I have 3 things real quick. One is the Marine Corps commercial because my kid's in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So that hits close to home. I'm proud of them, and they targeted the troubled youth in that commercial, which is okay. My son was never a troubled youth, but let's just get past it. It was a good commercial. It's the Marine Corps. Who doesn't love the Marine Corps? Yeah, when they get there, they hate their life, but 4 years later, they're different men. My son's already a different man because of it. Number 2, the Pepsi commercials, because they incorporated the first generation of Pepsis with this generation, and they all smushed it together, and it was pretty awesome. And then 3, there's that actor. I can't even remember his name, but he calls his agent and goes, "I got the role," and he tells everyone, "I got the role, I got the role," and then at the end, he's an extra. So
Yeah,
those are my
okay.
3. Yeah. So anyway, those are my 3 favorite.
And Tom, what do you got, man?
Oh man, we had a bunch of them. We had the one with Danny DeVito, the Skittles commercial.
Was that Skittles?
I think it was. I think it was. I forget what happened. Like,
That was
really.
M&M's.
I remember it was a pretty good commercial.
Yeah, that was M&M's because he was like,
It was-
"Are you? Do you want to eat me? Do you want to eat me?"
I did notice Anheuser-Busch.
Yes.
They did a commercial on the water, how they donate and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we have seen that one before though. They've been showing that one already.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't a new one. As a matter of fact, I pissed a bitch about it, and I don't know if it was in one of my videos.
It's the bitch.
I did, because if you remember, we talked about that way early in this. I don't even know. It might even been before the season, because after the hurricanes hit, you had Budweiser make this big deal about how they sent the water, and now they made this feel-good commercial about it. And what I felt ironic was about that commercial was they showed the single truck that left the plant, right? That left the brewery, and that's all the water Budweiser could muster up. Are you serious? So they stopped production for like, I don't know, 7.5 minutes to make water for one truckload of water.
Yeah.
That's all you can muster up, Budweiser? That really irritated me. You know what I'm saying? That really irritated. It was purely for that commercial, for publicity, and that irritates me.
Well, too. People that don't know much about beer, they sold it pretty well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, because see, now it's been long enough where some people forget that, but I remember because we added it up on the show here. We added it up and we talked about it, and Mark's really good with the numbers, and so Mark was figuring up, okay, and let me see, yeah, this would be about this many pallets of water, and I'm like, that's a truckload. You know what I'm saying? That's one truck, and ironically, at the end of the commercial, they show one truck leaving the brewery. And you're like, that's literally all they sent, right? They didn't show all the trucks that line up and wait for hours to pick up Budweiser. There was probably 24 trucks lined up around that plant to get Budweiser, and one of them left with water. Give me a break.
The golden ticket.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a typical example of a big corporation trying to make themselves make a fluff piece. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that, playing on Americans' emotions and on their short-term memory. You know what I'm saying? They remember the hurricane, but they don't remember the lackluster effort of Budweiser. I don't know.
That's why they are who they are. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like it either, but that's the reason they are who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lackluster beer. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, right. But the rest of the Budweiser commercials are brilliant. I swear to God, the rest of them.
And I missed all the Dilly Dilly commercials.
Oh, they were freaking bomb. I swear. And they sold that night. They even had the Bud Light night at the game.
Dude.
Did you see him? He was in the stands. They even had him at the game. Now let me cover in the chat here, and then I'll get to what I thought of the commercials. We have Earth Part 1, Bud Light, and then Verizon I like, and I kind of agree with that. Those were good. Average Joe, what's up, everyone? And he said, Joe, the focus seems to be fixed on your camera.
Yeah, the focus was a little messed up.
Oh, no, he means it on YouTube. If you watch on YouTube, none of us except Joe are visible. Joe, we're not even in the little squares down below. It's more
really?
Like it always is on Google Hangouts. I'm sure everybody's watching on there. We can see ourselves. On YouTube, it's just Joe. It looks like Joe is on there by himself.
Yeah, I noticed that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's another weird glitch. You can hear our voices on there, but you can't see us at all. Weird.
That's okay though, Bum, because in my opinion, not to take away from you or Mark, but it's his show. So I mean,
no, it's our show, man. You know what I'm saying? But as long as as long as everybody can hear you, I'm okay with that. I mean, what can we do about it now?
I don't care, but it's just bizarre how many glitches are there all the time. It's weird.
Let me cover some more of the comments here. Earth says the night going into the store was epic. Dude, we're gonna get into that. Also, the robots laughing at the guy on the Verizon commercial. Yeah, that was awesome. That's also on my list. I love that one. And then Bum makes a comment to Average Joe. Let me see. Earth also says, yeah, I just thought it was my. Oh, okay. So he's talking about the glitch in the YouTube here. Yeah, and then Average Joe says, yeah, no biggie. It's just hard to understand who's talking unless you recognize their voice. which isn't too hard if you're a longtime viewer of the show. Oh well, that's very, very unfortunate. I'm Yeah, Google Plus
Well-
is so glitchy that somehow the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Oh no!
Gonna get you for that one.
Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom.
Uh, okay, so let me cover my list, man, because I literally, as I saw one that was good, I wrote it down. As you can see, I've got my list here. Okay, so the M&M's commercial with Danny DeVito, that was great. That was one of the first commercials that I thought was funny because I wrote them all down in the order that they played, right? So the Danny DeVito commercial was excellent, man. You know, because you have the M&Ms and they're talking to each other like they typically do in one of the M&M commercials. And you have the red M&M talking to was it the yellow one or something like that? And he's like, you know what, man? I haven't been eating today, man. This is a great day. This is great. And then all of a sudden they show him turn into Danny DeVito, and Danny DeVito's running around the streets of, what was it, New York or something like that? And he's like, hey, do you want to eat me? Do you want to eat me? And everyone's like, no, get away, dude. What are you doing? And then he gets hit by a bus or something like that, right? Turns into a ghost. And then what? Am I missing something? Did something happen? No, but he turns into a ghost or something like that, and they're looking at it. So, did I miss something? I feel like I'm missing something.
No, we're laughing with.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're laughing with.
So yeah, he turns into a ghost. They're looking at themselves, the reflection. You know how you look in the buildings and you can see yourself in the reflection, and they're like, yeah, no, you still look good, whatever. That was a funny one. The Sprint robot one was good. Did you see the movie? What was it? It was an HBO movie, wasn't it? Or it was a series on HBO? What? No, it was a movie. I saw it on HBO. I can't remember the name of the movie. It was a futuristic type movie about where they thought we'd be with robots. But it was a play on that movie anyway. But I thought that one was good. And the guy invents these robots, and he's talking to the robots, and then they end up laughing at him. And that one's kind of that was pretty good. And that was a Sprint commercial. You had two different Bud Light Dilly Dilly commercials, right? You had the one that they've been playing for a couple of weeks, I think, already, where they're about to go into battle. And the king or whoever he is telling him, well, they've got arrows, and these guys, you can see the other army, about to launch arrows that are on fire, and he's like, well, they're arrows, they've got arrows, and they're on fire, and I'm sure they don't hurt as much as the regular ones. I'm sure they don't hurt as much as the regular ones, and they have we're outmanned by, I don't know, 5 or 20 to 1, something like that. He's like, all these reasons why they're about to get their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? And he's like trying to encourage them somehow, trying to drum up some sort of reason. And then he's like, and the camera shows that they've got Bud Light, and he's like, but they've got Bud Light, and you can see them all get fired up over that, right? And then it shows them charging. And of course, it goes to, fades to black, and then it says to be continued. Well, they finally showed the continuation, right? Which is the Bud Light night, which is what Mark was talking about in the pre-show. And that was the second commercial that I thought, the second of the Bud Light commercials that I thought was good, the fourth commercial on my list. And they show the Bud Light night. And so they're starting to fight this battle. The Bud Light night comes out, right? He's on his horse, he's going to save the day, and he runs through, charging through, and he's got all his suit of armor on, and they're all like, yeah. And you can see like this convenience store in the distance, like a modern convenience store, and he runs into the convenience store, bro, and you can see the sliding doors open, and everyone pauses, like the whole battle pauses, like, are you serious? He's going in, and he comes out of the store with a single 12-pack of Bud Light.
What did he say? He was like, "Oh, I got something to do. I got a party."
Yeah, it was epic, man. That commercial was great. Oh, it was great. So that's the fourth one on my list. Now, the other one that was really good was the chips that we had on the show, the Doritos Blaze, the one that we were talking about. You had I don't even know the actor's name, the midget from Game of Thrones.
And then you had Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, you had
Mountain Dew.
I don't know the actor's name that the midget from the Game of Thrones. I don't know his name. But he comes out there and he's doing this bomb ass rap, dude. I mean, he's crushing it. It was great. You know what I'm saying? He eats one of the chips and he's just like busting out this rhyme, dude. It was bomb. And then at the end of it, you have Morgan Freeman come out there, take a sip of Mountain Dew, and then cools off, right? Because you have the Doritos Blaze, so that warmed up the one actor, and then the Mountain Dew, I forget the name of the Mountain Dew, but it cooled Morgan Freeman off, and then he busts a rhyme, man. It was great. That commercial was great, man. From a hip hop perspective, it was awesome. They flowed like crazy. It was awesome. So I love that. I look forward to seeing that one again. The other one on my list is actually just a trailer for the new Star Wars movie. That one was good. I'm not a huge Star Wars buff or a sci-fi buff, but that movie actually looked really good from Lucasfilms. Did you see that? The trailer for that new Star Wars? That one actually, I was like, looking forward to that. It wasn't like super great, but it's a memorable one, right? And then, dude. Okay, what have I been showing on my Facebook page, on my Google Plus page, on my Instagram, and here on the show? I've talked about the new Diet Cokes, right? The new flavors. Dude, the Diet Coke mango commercial was hilarious, wasn't it? It was great, right? She gets on there and she's dancing.
Like, yeah, I did see that.
and she doesn't stop, right? It's kind of like the reverse of the Justin Timberlake halftime show, because you were wanting that one to stop. It like went too long, and this chick is so odd and quirky, and she just wouldn't stop dancing, and the commercial kind of is going too long, and she knows it, but the mango is so good in the Diet Coke that she just keeps busting moves, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh, I'm gonna stop, but oh man, I'm feeling this. And she's like, the mango's just so good, and
I can imagine
that one was great.
I can imagine what the cost of that commercial was.
Yeah, right.
Easy commercial she's just dancing. She's
yeah. Oh, so is that your son, Coach?
Oh yeah, did you see it?
Yeah, for a second it popped up there, the thumbnail. Awesome, man.
Yeah, sorry.
So that was another one. Okay, the other one that I thought was memorable, not super great, but just a decent commercial, was the Dodge Ram Greatness commercial. Do you remember that one where Martin Luther King, they showed the actual speech that he played, that he said February 4th, I forget what year, but it was exactly this day but years ago, and they played that speech, that his words. And that was a pretty good commercial. Oh, I'm an anti-Dodge guy. Oh, well, Ram guy. I'm a Chevy dude, right? But it was a great commercial. I thought that was one of those feel-good commercials that was decent, right? It was okay. Okay, now the whole game, you've seen these little spots with Eli Manning in there. Dude, the Mannings are flipping great at commercials, aren't they? The Manning family has got these commercials down. Peyton is excellent in the commercials. I look forward to his stupid commercials. He's quirky, he's odd, and I think he's great in the commercials. So Eli, they kept showing these little, I don't know, what were they, 15-second spots, and they're not really telling you much. And they show these little spots, and you're like, okay, this is going to get to a point sooner or later. And they must have showed 3 or 4 of them leading into the end. And at the end of it, you're like, oh, they finally put it together in the second half. And they show Eli Manning and who's his main receiver, Breckenridge?
Odell Jr.?
Who?
Odell Beckham.
Beckham. Yeah, Beckham Jr. They show him and Beckham dancing, bro. And they're like, ooh, dude, that was great. I love it. And then they show Eli kind of in the distance, and then Beckham runs to him, and he holds Beckham up like this. And
What is it, Dirty Dancing?
Oh, it's great. That was hysterical. The Manning family is excellent, man. They have lined themselves up really, really well for the rest of their lives to do commercials. Kind of like a Terry Bradshaw or something. They've made themselves into a nice character. They've really done that well. The last one on my list was the Amazon Alexa commercial. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
That last Amazon Alexa commercial was pretty good, I thought. But not super great once again. But I thought it was another good, memorable
Was that
commercial.
the one Alexa loses her voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that one. Sometimes there's so much going on in these commercials, and it's so fast-paced and fast jump cutting and stuff.
Mhm.
It's almost hard to follow sometimes, some of these.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I just was really, really, really prepared for it. And let me go back in the chat here and see what people are saying.
Did you notice
Shout out to Earth. Sorry, Tom.
Did you notice that one company that was pumping? I felt like they were pumping tons of money into commercials. Tide.
Tide
They
had a million spots, didn't they?
They did. That one guy, he was landing in all these other commercials the whole entire game.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was popping everywhere.
Now Tide's commercials, you didn't quite know where they stopped and started. You didn't quite know, so it did have that feeling of like, well, he's pulling up in random commercials, like in other people's commercials, and the way they would start and end, it really felt a little, and I don't know, it felt drummed up, like they were really trying to like kind of force you into liking their commercial. Yeah. I thought they were clever, they were okay, but because it felt like a little like, oh, we're trying to make you like our commercial, like I was like, for that reason, I didn't really like them.
They're redeeming themselves for this Tide Pod challenge or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about this thing, and
they're like a national meme. It's like
right.
It's silly. It's nonsense. These kids are taking these detergent soaps and swallowing them, and then let's see what happens to me. And they're dying. Oh, cool, bro! I die in front of you. Ha ha ha! I mean, it's just nonsense. Like, wow.
And then to top it off, like someone invented a drink, and so there's this mixed shot, and they call it the Tide. What do they call that pouch? What do they call it?
Tide Pod.
Yeah, they call it the pod or something like that. It literally, dude, it's a shot, and of course they can make the layers look perfect, and it literally looks just like it. It literally looks just like that Tide Pod, and I don't know what the mixture is, but when you see pictures of it, it looks just like it. Of course, someone's gonna capitalize on it. And
there's a documentary coming out on HBO about Andre the Giant, and
I seen that.
Yeah, he drank 116 beers in one sitting.
Oh my goodness!
And everybody says that's not true, and I've heard from like 8 people that know him best that said, yeah, he drank that many beers in one sitting.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't see the commercial. I heard there was a documentary on him coming out. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Too bad Mark's not here with his Andre glass that he has.
When I seen that trailer for that documentary, Mark's the first one I thought of because he has that mug. Yeah.
Does he have a glass?
Oh yeah, no, Mark has that big ass mug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanderson.
Let me see.
I want to see it.
So let me see. Oh, we have Drunken One in there, and he says, "Laugh out loud, Joe." Average Joe says something about Tom, and then says, "Ha ha ha." Says, "I Robot." Yeah, Nah, it was more recent than I Robot. No, because this one was boy, gonna force me to look it up. It was on HBO not too long ago. Let me see. Oh man, see HBO Go. Let me see. What's the other one? HBO Now. HBO.
Bum, by the way, I love your malt liquor reports. They're the best.
Ah, thank you, sir. Did you
Yeah.
catch earlier, Joseph?
Oh, we're frozen there.
Oh
What?
yeah, he froze
We
up.
lost for a second, Bum.
Sorry, Bums.
As usual. Did you catch it earlier tonight, Coach, where Joe said that the Friday show was infiltrated by Steel Worldwide in the chat?
Yeah.
I caught half of the show, so that makes me laugh. Yeah.
Apparently,
I didn't catch the whole thing.
apparently he was trolling in the chat in the last few minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Man.
he's hip to share a beer now. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Probably not.
Right. The thing Joe D doesn't understand is he has a cult following, and along with that cult following comes Bum and Mark Sanderson, and it's almost like and I hate to do this, but it's almost like a mini Howard Stern show. There's all these.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, there's all these characters that go along with the man. I mean, obviously Bum and Tom and Mark Sanderson, you guys are obviously the guys on the panel, but Joe D has a cult-like following, whether he realizes it or not. So
and you're part of that too, Coach. You're part of that when you pop in.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
so.
it's the reason why I don't necessarily care about the numbers. I care about it a little bit because they kind of make me, you know what I'm saying, especially kicking me out of the partner program as they have now. But so I kind of care about it a little bit, but not half as much, because like you said, I've got my small niche group of followers and they're pretty hardcore, and that's all I care about. All I care about is my base. You know what I'm saying? And there's the base is actually not even this little group. It's actually this huge group, and part of the base jumps out, and then another part will jump in. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll have another part come in, and another part will leave. And it's just a trip how over the years, people jump out and jump in, and it isn't it Bum? Like, it's just that's just how things go.
Like I've called it the alumni club, just like Odeed came back 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
After how many years?
Yeah, we haven't seen Odeed in I don't even know how many years. It's been a really, really long time. And go ahead.
That just shows you. I mean, you've seen him recently, and you haven't seen him for a long time. That just shows you he's been following you religiously, almost. I mean,
yeah,
you have a cult-like following, which is good.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. It's no wonder. Yeah. No, I am not wanting to.
Joe, that Saturday at 7 might bring back more.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I was a little bummed out because Tuesday is the day, right? Because we've been on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern forever. And so whether, you're regular to the show or not, or if it's been 5 years or it's been a year or just a few months, people know, you know what? It's Tuesday. I ain't got much going on. I'm going to find to see if Joe D's still there. Right. And that's been the big thing. I love that part. So not being on Tuesday worries me a little bit, but it brings other opportunities. It always has. We've those of you that are longtime viewers of the show know this. It's like, boy, what's about to come now? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of exciting to me. It's like, man, the possibilities. I mean, just what we're doing now. I mean, now that I'm off on weekends, I couldn't have done this before. I mean, you think about it. I'd have been, maybe not Sunday night, but prior to having weekends off, well, when I was still in Albuquerque, I had to go to work right now, you know. So this opportunity coming to Phoenix at least afforded me to have a certain part of my weekend off, and now I'm going to have a legit real weekend off like regular people, which terrifies me, but that's just a personal thing. But it will bring, I am sure of it, it'll bring opportunities for this show that, man, we don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's even a little scary.
If I can chime in, you have Bum, who is awesome. He gives you the malt liquor report. People like that more than you know, Bum.
Yeah.
And that's a great support system. You have Tom.
My public.
Right.
Exactly. He has his segment. It's awesome.
You guys laugh, but here's the thing. Here's the reality of it. And then you have Tom. He went to the Great American Beer Festival with Joe D.
Yep.
And had a great time.
Yep.
And I like Tom. I don't like the Patriots, and I feel a little sad tonight for him because he's so goddamn nice that
forgot about it already.
I don't know. I'm a Chargers fan. I grew up in San Diego, so yeah, my team sucks all the way around because now they're LA, and I hate LA anyway. That's a different story. But Jody, you have a gold mine there, and it'll evolve eventually. Whether you realize it or not, you have a gold mine, and it's just a great thing that you have there. And I'll shut up. I've had a little too much beer, but that's just that's my take on it.
All of my beer has worn off, but I will continue what Coach is saying. Joe, I've been wanting to mention this to you. My one friend at work, who I've shown the show off and on several times, he's been like, boy, that guy's good. He's almost like a TV, good enough to be on TV or something. And Bubba the bartender, who you've met on the show once,
right?
He still watches, and he said to me the other day, he goes, I'll tell you what, he goes, I give Joe a lot of credit. He is really good at doing what he does on that show, as far as keeping the flow of the show going, as far as keeping things on track. He goes, I'm sure it's a tough thing to do, and he really does it well.
Oh, well, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. It's man, I don't even know what to say. I don't want this to turn into some fluff piece, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's when I tell everybody, either at the beginning or at the end of the show, that I appreciate everybody's support, I couldn't be any more sincere, because it honestly comes from the bottom of my heart. You guys help me more than you know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I put my life out here and try to be as honest and as true on camera as I am off. You know what I'm saying? A little more swearing off camera, but you know what I'm saying? Other than that, what you see is what you get. Tom knows that, we've hung out. I'm no different. What you see is what you get. Like it's just in real life. I can punch you in the face if I want. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no different. But you guys have seen over the years my life evolve and me go through things, and I try to put that out there for you so you can judge it. Like I say, man, we're human beings, man. This like, oh, don't judge me thing, man. Come on, give me a break. We're human beings. Judge away. You know what I'm saying? Look at something the way I've handled it and judge away and figure out for yourself, if you run into that situation or someone runs into that situation, hey, you know what? This is the way I seen a friend of mine online handle it, Joe D. This is how he handled it. I think maybe you should handle it this way, or this is how I'm going to handle it. But at least you've got some sort of reference for that experience when it happens to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's bomb. And I learned just as much from you. Like, you guys have supported me through all these ups and downs that I've gone through. You guys are my family. We're a community, and it's really, really important to me to make sure that you know, we can all jump in on this together. Like right now, hey, I want to get in and get everyone's opinion. You know what I'm saying? It was more important to me to get everyone's opinion. I want to hear what you think, and you think, and you think, and you get a card, and you get a card. You know what I'm saying? But it's really important to get everyone's opinion. You know what I'm saying, and get everyone in there. You know, I appreciate it. You know, thanks, Coach. I really do appreciate it. And Tom and Bum, I can't even tell you how much I appreciate you guys' loyalty and support. It's invaluable, man. I can't put a number on it. I can't put, you know what I'm saying? Well, with Mark, I do. I give him raises regularly, you know.
You had about 3 zeros this year, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, so you guys, I know there might be some jealousy in the ranks. You know, because you know, Mark is the one that gets all the raises, but you know, he's been with me the longest. So,
well, can I chime in real quick?
Absolutely.
You're doing the right thing. You've helped me more than you know in my personal life, and I appreciate everyone you have on your show. Bum especially. Tom, you're the man. Jody, I don't think you realize what you do for people. And you have a big YouTube channel and a big following. And I'll shut up real quick, but people follow you and they listen to you for a reason, whether it's big or small. You help people more than you know, man.
I appreciate it.
Dilly
helped me through my life.
Dilly,
yeah. And I'm not going to get all sentimental, but yeah, you've helped me through more things you know, and that's part of the reason I follow you and chime in when I can. And not to get all sentimental, but yeah, thank you. So
I embrace, as Bum knows, I embrace all our differences, right? We've over the years, if you've been with the show long enough, you've seen many different sorts of people from many different walks of life and many different parts of the globe. You know what I'm saying? I embrace our differences. You know what I'm saying? To me, there's something to be learned from everybody and everything and every little thing that makes you unique and you quirky and you different. And you're seeing me go through another change. Like I am very different and quirky and very unique, and I've embraced that. I've taken a certain amount of pride in being different, in doing something. It may be really small, but in doing something a lot of people can't do. I love when people, you know, when I tell people, oh, I've worked graveyard for almost 18 years, and they're like, oh my God, I could not do that. Oh my God, I don't know how you do that. And I'm like, it's not for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's nuts. I know. But I've always taken a little bit of pride in doing something that other people just can't do. Right. So to be normal, quote unquote, and work, you know, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. to, I don't know, what is it, 4:30, Monday through Friday. It's terrifying to me, man, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It takes away a little bit. It strips me of my uniqueness and takes away that little bit of that edge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be just a regular dude. Like, you know, it's kind of, but I embrace all our little quirks and all our little things that make us unique. You know, because there's something to be learned from it. And I just feel like, we're more alike than different in a lot of ways. Once you dig in there enough, you know what I'm saying? We're, you know, of course, a large percentage of the audience for the show is dudes. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I think, you know, in that aspect, we're a lot alike. We're more alike than different. You know what I'm saying? And once we get past these sorts of little cultural acting sort of differences that we pretend to have, once we dig in there a little bit and get underneath that first layer, you're like, you know what, man, I kind of like doing that too, dude. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like,
yeah,
you know, we'll quit faking, man. You know what I'm saying? Just be you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be you.
Yeah.
That could have been a Super Bowl commercial tonight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, sponsored by Share Beer. Anyway, let's get out of this, man. Enough of the puff piece, man. You know what I'm saying? Too much like hugging and smooching and kissing and all that. We'll have to take
Sorry,
points
man.
off the.
I love you guys.
No. I appreciate that, but enough of it. We've had enough smooching. We're gonna start deducting points off the man card. Like people are gonna like start. Hey, dude. You know what?
We're men.
We need to take.
Damn it.
Yeah, we need to get to more of the Viking side of things here, man.
I drink beer.
Exactly.
I drink beer and I flex my muscle. I'm a man.
Exactly.
I'm a man. Here we go.
Anyway, man, let me get back to the chat here. Let me see. So they're still okay. The drunken one says Tide. The Tide Pod snacks and all that sort of thing. Let me see. They taste like soap to me. Yuck. Jason, we have Jason in here, and he says, Joe, please to link me to that British beer tuber live chat featuring Jay Throt and Lee
and
Jesus.
Lee Russell, I guess. Now is that Kent? Kent's beer reviews? Does he do live? I don't know who he means.
Oh, does he?
I'm not sure. Does he? I mean, British beer tuber. I don't know who he could mean other than Craig.
I tell you what, man. You guys need to check Craig out if you haven't. He pumps out the videos, man. I'll give him that. He does a good job. I don't watch every single video, but I'll tune in. Maybe every third or fourth one. He really pumps them out.
So Joe D, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
I had no idea I clicked into the gun show. Let's see your right and your left. Let's go. You got a tattoo on the right and the left. Let's see the gun show.
Oh, I don't have no guns. I don't have any guns.
None. You're a wrestler. You're a wrestler. Yes, you do. And that's what I coach. Let's see it.
Yeah, I honestly don't have any guns.
Jody.
The only thing I work out is twisting bottles and popping bottles and lifting cups. That's
Jody. You're the man.
That's the only thing I ever work out. This is actually my house shirt, and that's how quickly I jumped online to start the show is because I'm still in my house shirt. I honestly will wear this. Before I start a show, I'll actually change shirts. And I thought about it tonight, but I was like, no. We're just going to do a quick show and then get off. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, I know. You mean a quick show to 40 and the 5. A quick show to the 40. Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And the 5.
Oh,
boom.
I know. I got these tats when I was in my 20s. And what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what are you gonna do? You're gonna flex it out.
You're gonna flex it out.
And the 5.
Up close to action right here.
I'm gonna shut the hell up. Sorry.
I've got a couple of guys I work with that are actually power lifters, and I can bring them over, and they'll be more than happy to flex with. As a matter of fact, tank tops are all they wear, right? I mean, it's you're like, really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they everywhere. They go everywhere in tank tops. Tank tops are, you're like
tank top and a protein shake.
Yeah, you're like, really, guy? Come on, man, you gotta be kidding me. But yeah, let me see. Average Joe says Tom's a good dude, but the Patriots, I mean, they exist. I mean, I just can't. Sorry, I can't say nice things. Tom will survive. With all the treehouse he drinks.
That's a good idea, actually. I should head that way.
Drown yourself in treehouse, man.
Head that way.
Drew, we have Drew in here. Drew says, love the show. And then he also says, congrats to the Eagles. Says New England will get over it, right? I mean, all the juicy IPAs produced out there will soften the blow. You know?
Just bring the juicy IPAs.
Yeah, there's some damn good New England juicy IPAs.
Hey, Joe, can I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
Tom is a great guy because if he loses, he gets talked about and trash talk. If he wins, it's even more trash talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like New England, but he gets it either way. So let's give him his kudos.
Yeah, try not
Well,
to trash.
that's the life of a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
Right. But
well,
I mean, the guy can't win. The guy can't win.
Right. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you want your team to at least be there with a chance to win? And so as a Patriots fan, even when you lose, there's still a victory. Like you still had to watch the Patriots, right? Everybody still had to watch the Patriots. So there's, and I'll get to something else in that vein. Let me just finish the chat here. So, let me see. We have Drew saying first time joining a live share a beer since 2012. See, we were talking about that. Profit, yo. We have Earth. I consider you guys as my good friends and family. And man, that's the biggest compliment ever, man. Earth is incredible. I've hung out with Earth, shared some beer, shared some food, man. We had good times. It was awesome. Average Joe again. I think Tom has already forgotten about it. Earth probably drinking a Julius or Congress Street and giving it absolutely no F's, right? And then Prophet says the game was close as F, right? And then Earth says absolutely 0 F's given. It turned into the F-bomb chat right there. Average Joe, sometimes you gotta hug it out, man. Yeah, so I think he's talking about when we're talking about all the smooching. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, all the love being given there. We got TD Burris in there again, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. One opportunity shuts down and we start getting other guys jumping in that have always kind of wanted to jump in. And so, that's what I'm just looking forward to it. He says, what up, Joe D? And then the last is Average Joe saying, Tom loves juicy IPAs and lives in New England region. He's always winning like Charles Sheen circa 2012. So.
Do you have tiger blood, Tom, like Charlie Sheen?
Also, I need to mention, so you had Tom Brady as the MVP of the league for this season. You also, the big winners, though, were the Rams. You had our head coach as coach of the year. You had Todd Gurley who was our running back, as offensive player of the year. And you had, oh my God, how did I forget our guy on defense there? Donald as our defensive player of the year. So the Rams really were voted very highly, and a lot of people thought very highly of the Rams this year. So I feel like we won last night as well. So, and of course, these awards were awarded last night. As you heard in the pre-show, because we were talking, Tom Brady didn't even show up to get his award. So he had someone jump in there for him. Any thoughts as we close here, Bum? Any closing thoughts about the game or anything in general?
Well, I've said about all I can say about the game. I was going to tell head coach that he doesn't. I don't know if he's still here or can hear us. Yeah. Okay. I found a photo of Mark's Andre the Giant glass. I knew there was one out there somewhere on his Untapped. If you go to his Untapped check-ins, if you're friends with Mark on Untapped, go to his go to his check-in for Foster's Lager. Foster's Lager. I've never shared a screen on here, and I'm not going to attempt to now. But if you go to Mark's check-in for Foster's Lager, he's having it in his Andre glass, so you can get a good look at the glass. Or if you want to punch it up, Joe, it's a neat glass.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. I'll make a little effort to try to find it if I.
I find it the quickest just by going to Foster's, and then where it comes up, your friends checking in the beer. How many your friends check-ins for that?
Oh,
beer.
I got you. Okay.
I got it real quick.
All right, just Foster's Lager and then doing the friends. Okay, I got you. So let's see here. Present to everyone. There we go. Let's click friends. Yeah, because I don't even know when the last time I drank Foster's. See if we have Kent in there a couple times. Oh, there's my buddy John. There he is. So here's the Andre the Giant glass.
That's an awesome glass.
It is very cool. That was the 9th of September 2017.
And he's had it on the show on a couple other times.
Yeah.
Used it on the show. So
yeah, but that's just to give everybody a glimpse at the Andre the Giant glass. We even had a show where we talked about Andre quite a bit. We showed his hands, pictures of his hands compared to other people's hands. We talked about, I feel like on that particular show, we must have carried on for a good 20 minutes about Andre the Giant, different little beer drinking records he had. We showed a picture of him holding a regular 12-ounce beer in his hand, and it disappeared.
That's awesome.
It was like a regular guy holding one of those little 8-ounce cans of juice.
Like a little Limerita?
Yeah, like a little Limerita or a tomato juice can or something like that. Yeah. A 12-ounce can in that man's hand. He was so big. That's how it looked. So you could see how the guy would just crush beers. It was.
Yeah. And Bum, I appreciate that, man, because I'm looking forward to the HBO documentary they have on him.
Oh, yeah. I'm anxious to see that, too. Man did not live a happy life.
When is that coming out? I do remember seeing the trailer, but when is that coming out? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I heard about it, that it existed and was coming out, but haven't heard anything specific.
Right. Same.
Let me show people. So here is, in case you're wanting to follow me on Untapped, there is my Untapped right there. Joe_D right here. Joe_D. This is my Untapped. You'll be able to find most people on the show by going through my friends list, and you can check me out there. If you want to find me on what's the other one? I'm on there all the time too. What's the other one?
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah. Instagram. Joe D Photography on Instagram. Of course. Yeah, she's posting a lot of stuff. You're going to see a lot of models on my particular stream. A lot of models, and hey, there's just Mike right there, man. Sometimes he jumps in on the show. Yes, Susan. She's another model I've worked with who also loves craft beer. There's just Mike. Here's another model, local model, and but in any case, this is my Instagram right here. So you're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram, ABQ Trucker on Twitter. So that's pretty much all my social media. The Facebook, right? Here, Jody Reviews page on Facebook. If you're interested, you can follow me there. I've been posting a lot more to Facebook, to the Facebook page, I have to admit. So, boy, that's taking a long time to load up. Yeah, I posted a picture earlier on my Super Bowl setup. So guys were asking about my lights, and that's how I watched the game tonight. It's exactly how I watched the game. So I have those sorts of things up on the Facebook page. So you are more than welcome to follow me on those social media networks and check things out. All you want. Knock your socks off. So we will be here on the 10th. I've got it written down here. Hold on. Saturday, February 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern. So same time, different day, starting on February 10th. So we will be here Saturday, February 10th, starting that day, 7 p.m. Eastern, and then from then on, hopefully most Saturdays. I'm going to say most because now that it's on a weekend, it will conflict with other things that I do, and so. Although I did find out recently that there is a way to have a guest host, but I don't know how them kicking me out of the partner program is going to affect that. I'm like, boy, it figures. I find out about this thing, and they kick me out of the partner program. So we'll see how that affects things. I'll have to dig in and find out about that, and then maybe I could have like Mark host a show if in my absence or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe even Bum.
Oh,
Bum
no.
hosted. And then you guys
Not a
could truly
chance in
find
hell.
out what it's like to host the show, man.
Not a chance in hell.
Not a chance. in
Oh, come on, Bum. We got Joe D's back.
So, man, I am really honestly looking forward to the future of the show, getting more people in here, different people rather. It's going to be very, very interesting to see where things go. But it was a great game tonight. As you know, we're sticking with the Super Bowl here, so it was a great game. We had a better flow of commercials. The halftime show was nah. I ain't gonna write home to mama about it. I'm sure my mom watched. So I probably don't have to. But yeah, I still wouldn't write home to her about it. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely a Super Bowl worth watching, of course, because a lot of us thought the Patriots were just somehow going to win it, and they didn't. So congrats to the Eagles. Congrats to people that live in Pennsylvania. Bum. I'm sure you still support them. Even though they're not necessarily your team, they're still from Pennsylvania. So, it's like, okay,
I'll take a little bit of credit there.
yeah, I mean, it's, for me, I can relate because, it would be like, okay, the Rams didn't want it, but if like the Chargers did, it would be like, okay,
What the hell?
Yeah, I'll
What
take
do you mean?
No,
say
or,
something.
the Dodgers
No.
didn't win, but the Angels won. I'm like, well, that did happen, right? A few years back, the Angels won, and you're like, okay,
What do you mean?
I
love
guess.
Joe D, but you can't say the Chargers. Like, no,
Okay,
no.
for another team.
Pick someone else, like Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Irrelevant.
Well, yeah, it's.
Look at this. It says San Diego. SD.
Yeah, so you're the guy that got the San Diego tattoo, and they're in LA now.
Joe D, we're gonna wrestle. We're gonna wrestle.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. That's right, Tom. Damn it.
That's one of the reasons I've never got a Rams tattoo, because I'm like, what if they move? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like that tattoo.
Tom, he almost finished the show, but now we just open up a new can of worms, man.
That's a whole can of worms.
Just when I think I'm out, they bring me back in.
That's right. I coach wrestling. Jody wrestled in high school.
Yeah, I sure did.
I don't know. How else are we going to handle this? I don't know. God damn it, Jody. You son of a gun, man.
I even posted an old wrestling picture of mine.
I have it. I took a screenshot. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I took a screenshot from last New Year's Eve. Not this last one, but year before.
Okay, is that when I did it?
All
right,
yeah. I had that screenshot. And guess what? My new profile picture, all the way around, is you and your wrestling.
Oh my God. Me and my old school singlet, huh? That was it, huh?
I swear to Christ. We laugh, but wait till next share beer. Yeah.
I tell you, man. Now,
got it.
back in the day, we used to wear those reversible singlets, and I tell you, man, it was the most embarrassing thing. You know, because some guys, you know, they go all natural underneath those things.
Oh yeah.
And so if they decide you are not red and you have to be blue, right? You have to reverse that bad boy in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, even I don't know how they do it now, but back in the day, you know, you were, you know, it's 15, 16 years
Do I know
old.
what you're saying? Tom and Bum, excuse us for 30 seconds. I could walk out on the mat, Jody, with my singlet, and my girlfriend's looking at me like, yeah, you're not built like Mike.
Yeah.
You're not built like Michael over there. What the hell's going on? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just nervous. Honey, I'm just nervous. And
Yeah.
the next week, my girlfriend left me for Michael.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So Bum and Tom, we had to wear these things called singlets, and they were skin tight, and they showed everything.
I
From your
remember
shoulders to your
the photo. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, my girlfriend asked me why wasn't I built like old Michael over there, and I said, "Leave me alone."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Those were, oh my God. Yeah. Those singlets. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, those were some, you know, in wrestling, there was a lot of experience in wrestling, experiences that you went through with wrestling. And that was one of them, you know, was being out in the middle of everybody, and you had it. Now, I always wore underwear, so I didn't have as much of a problem with, you know, switching that thing around as other guys did, because, you know, we would have to get towels and kind of cover guys while they tried to switch, you know. But I don't know how they handle it now, but with the sensitivity towards minors and this sort of thing now, I kind of wonder how they handle that. But
it's crazy. I'll leave you alone about it, but
yeah, I imagine that it's got to be.
I was on the mat with my high school sweetheart who I married, and she goes, "Yeah, I guess I like shrimp." So yeah, so that's where I live.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have mine somewhere. It was packed up. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I can remember.
Put that thing on.
I remember
you
a few
want
jokes
100
being made when when I was married, and I actually unpacked it, and I was like, I used to wear this. You know what I'm saying? And, no, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I used to kind of wear it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's kind of funny. But
You
in
want
any
more
case,
viewers? Put that thing on and go flex. Anyway.
yeah, no, we're out of
Hashtag
here.
good
No,
night.
that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Congrats to the Eagles, and we will see you on the 10th, man. Peace.
Even on the 10th.
There you go.
Hey guys.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
man. Laters.